This is Nancy with Nancy's Garden Soap Co. and I wanted to show you how to use your master batch of oil. Once you've measured out the correct percentages of each type, you're then going to have to put it into a soap calculator to figure out how much lye you'll need. So here's Google, and I'm going to be typing in Soap Calc, and it should bring up, here's soapcalc.net right up here. That's the one I like to use, and it takes you either to the home page or where you'll find, let's see if we can get to the home page. Soap Calc, it'll take you here, and then you can go up here to the recipe calculator at the top. Click that. Once you are here, you want to specify how much oil you're going to use. So in our example, we were going to use, let's start with one. We're going to use type of lye is sodium hydroxide, NaOH. The weight of the oil, I liked working in ounces, so we'll say 16 ounces. Water as a percentage of oils, you can change this according to what you need. 38% is the standard. Number 4, super fat right here. I like working with the 5%, and you can change your fragrance to 1 ounce per pound, a half an ounce, 0.75%. Number 5, soap qualities and fatty acids. We're going to go over here, and I'm going to choose olive oil was our first ingredient. So I'm going to scroll down to get to olive oil and double click that to bring it over to number 6. And we're working with percentages, so I'm going to type in 50% there. Go up to coconut oil, 76 degree, double click that, and type in 25% according to our example. Next one was palm oil, double click, and that was 20%. And finally we had castor oil up the top, double click it, and it joins over into this set over here. That was 5%. These numbers over in this column right here should equal 100%. And then you hit calculate recipe, and it will give you the same percentages that we had as if you were working with a 16-ounce batch of soap. So you would pour out the 16 ounces of your oil, and then when you hit view or print recipe here, it takes you to a new sheet, and it tells you how much lye right here in this pink line right here. And you would need 2.25 ounces of lye to go with in 6 ounces of water. You mix them ahead of time and then add it to your oils. Let's go back to our Soap Calc original page. Let's say you have a master batch of oil and you decide, you want to try you want to put this into a Pringles can and it needs 20 ounces of oil. You could change the 16 to 20, calculate the recipe, and then over here it'll tell you, it'll calculate out what 20 ounces of your master batch of oils would give you. And then when you hit view or print recipe, it automatically changes this to the 20 ounces. And now for 20 ounces of that same soap batch, you would need 7.6 ounces of water and 2.82 ounces of lye. So no matter how much oil you decide to use, you just dish that out from your bucket of your standard amounts. Make sure that your numbers here, your percentages, are according to whatever you mixed in the master batch. And if you want to make a 50-ounce batch for some crazy reason, you hit the 50 up in that little section up here, calculate your recipe, view or print here, and then switch over to that other page. And you will see 50 ounces up at the top and how much lye you need. 7.05 ounces of lye and 19 ounces of water. I'm hoping that that helps you out with how to use your master batch of oils. I can give you a couple other hints that I do. I print out every single recipe that I make, and I'll type at the top the name, color, and date for the soap that I'm making. Under additives, I'll add, say, how much a teaspoon of sodium lactate, 1 tablespoon of kaolin clay. Add my notes down here, added to lye, water, or whatever you're going to add, wherever you're going to put it. And then over in notes, I'll add in the colors or the color scheme. Pink, purple,